Hey, happy Friday. So, yeah, let me know when you get in if the audio is okay. There should be a little bit of music in the background. So, let me know if the audio is working all right because I'm always playing around with the sound, so I never know if I've just screwed it up before I start these things. Now, let's have a little look and see what we are going to play with today. Can I share my screen? Excellent. So I am going, let me just check, make sure this is, yeah, so what I'm going to be working off today is some designs I got and redone by Adrian. So I've been working for the last little while on some designs to redo my business site. So for my business, I sell bespoke software to lots of different businesses. And I've been working from references for years now. So what I decided I would try to is actually have a decent website. So let me just show you my old website because I think how much I neglected it. It is surprising I got any referrals. So this is the old one. Very vague, as you can see. There's not too much in there. And yeah, I've been working off this for years now. It's all jQuery, Bootstrap, and something I definitely just ripped off the internet to get things done fast at the time, just to have something online. So now I want to make it a little bit more modern looking by building something like this. If you're in the chat, make sure you can just send me a message to make sure you can hear me, so I know the audio is working as well. And yeah, so then I have the mobile stuff. I'll play around with this a little bit probably. So today I'm going to try and get up and set up all my variables and things I need to, I suppose, get things working and look like they're working. If you have any questions throughout, let me know. Excellent. Let's see, where will we start? So what I'm thinking of as well, so I don't start from total scratch, is using the Next.js blog example. Cool. We have a few people there. Oh, it took a second for the chat to come through. So yeah, I'm going to steal this to start, one of Next.js's starter templates, and I'm going to just run with it from there. And just because it will save me later on worrying about how to create these markdown files. So what I'll do is, here is the starter stuff, and I'm just going to copy this whole command here and jump back in over here. And I'm actually just going to pull out all of the files from inside this folder into the root because that's where I've initiated everything anyway. And cheers. Happy Friday. So it's been a long day, so I'm bound to make a few mistakes here as my brain has shut down for the week. Okay, so we have everything here. I'll just pull it all. This is empty now, so let's delete this. Don't think there's anything in it. I should be able to say yarn def now. Now, so if has anyone not used Next.js before, and I can give you a quick intro to what it is. I don't want to bore people if everyone already knows what it is in the chat, but it's a pretty useful toy. So yeah, right, look, straight away, because I'm definitely going to get confused in about 5 minutes with which one's the real one. So this is now ready to go. And yeah, so Next.js is a great framework, and they just made a new release a couple days ago at the Next.js conf. So there's a couple of little properties and things I'm going to try out in the next few weeks on this. And yeah, so that we have this. Let's jump in and see where we're working at. So we have our pages, posts, app.js, documents. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. I might just change the title to Kodu for now, so I can easily find it. That little symbol there, for anyone that's not Irish, it's called a fada. So it gives kind of an ah or an ooh sound whenever we add it to the accent. It kind of drags it out a little bit. So yeah, it's live updating, as you can see. Save, automatically done. The first thing I'm going to make sure we have before I jump into, is it the same as Gatsby? Sort of, yeah. They're similar paradigm. The only difference with Next.js now, because I think Gatsby you can server-side render things now as well, is with Next.js, you actually have an API folder as well, which you can create entire APIs. So you could build a full stack application in Next.js. So if you want to do more complicated things and handle some server-side requests, connect to a database directly and do all that from a project, you can actually just do that with Next.js, which is obviously super helpful. So I don't need to boot up a Node app just to do some REST APIs and that. I can build them straight in here. So yeah, I would say it's, especially now that they just released the image optimization, that's why I would have been lean towards Gatsby to do a business site, because they have all the optimizations. But now that they have the image optimizations on Next, I think it's pretty comparable, really. Now, what I want to do as well, and I might pull this in, I have an old project that I was working on here, and this is how I would actually start a project. I'd always go in to my last project and see how I set it up, just to make sure I can get the same resets. So I know in here, there are some styles I want to steal. Like the resets, I think, are in here somewhere. So I'm just going to look for that. Or did I even put a reset in this? Maybe I didn't. But that's what I need first anyway. So I'm going to close this. And I will look for a reset. Yeah, I'm going to just steal all this. So let's see the raw. Just to reset the CSS so I don't have any weird styling issues when I jump through it. And the styles, index CSS. Ah, and it has Tailwind already in it as well. So I'll probably try get rid of that at some point as well. I don't think I'll use Tailwind for this, but it's nice that they already have it in for me in case I start adding it in at some stage or using bits of it. So let's new file, call this reset.css. And then where is this all added? I think there's a header component in here or something. So let me layout maybe. Div meta link. Yeah. Or is it in the index.css? Ah, there's my markdown CSS. app.js. Yeah, we can just bring it in here. So what's in my index CSS? So I just want to was it reset CSS. I wonder how much this has changed it already. Yeah, you see, it's already gotten rid of a lot of the defaults there. So we're gonna work on styling this up nicely because that's obviously used a lot of the browser defaults. As you can see, the styling's still the same because of the Tailwind stuff that's there. But that's a reset done. Let's close this. Anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? Is there any projects people are working on, or are we taking the weekend off? Oh, I see Nuri's in the chat as well. Trying to learn on the weekend now. Nuri, I thought you'd be off. Okay, so where am I? So in my app, I have that. Let's see what's in our index.css. So I'm going to leave that in there for now, and I'm going to, I'll call this main.css. And we will put that in last. I will probably by the end of this. Hey Praveen. College stuff all weekend long, yay. Haha, Nuri catching up as well, working as always. Alright, main.css. So I'm going to probably delete this index at some point because, yeah, it's just no fun to try and use all this stuff, really. I don't like to cheat. I like to roll my own, especially because the design I'm working on is so weird, as in Tailwind won't really help me with how custom this is, so there's no point in really using it. And what I'm hoping to get done today is get this section done, maybe get the buttons in, get the texts in, get all our sizing set up. So even if I got this much done today, or a start on it, that would be awesome. So let's see where we can get. I'm learning React for the weekend. That is, depending on what you like, could be fun, because it's Friday evening for me and I'm still doing this stuff as well. So, right, let's jump back over, and in the main.css, I'm going to copy and paste over a kind of default styling that I have just to speed things up a little bit. And we'll walk through it because I need to actually set all these, but this is kind of like my boilerplate setup as such that I would usually use when I start a new project. So I'm just copying and pasting it. So if you're a freelancer, you will usually have your own kind of tools that you lean on. It's the only way to be efficient, I guess. Max width, what is this? So I think I can delete this. Okay, let's delete that. Because yeah, it'd be silly if every single project you started, you would go back and try and rebuild everything from scratch. I will be doing most things from scratch just to show as an example. But as you can see here, it has my main media queries and sizing and everything else in that I normally work with. And then the likes of my font sizing, which I can play around with. So let's start by getting our color palette right. So I know I have a pink, and I'll have a blue, I'll have a black, gray, and I have black there, and I have a gray here. I'm going to be changing these in a second, and I will also probably have a white. Okay, so I'll delete that. And we're going to delete all of this for now. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is going to break everything for a little while. But let's go over to our designs. And we can see... Well, I actually have my brand guidelines. So this is something I've been working on as well, is getting some consistency. So I have my fonts and I have my styles and things. So let's click this. We can copy and paste. This is Figma, in case anyone hasn't used it. Figma is a free design tool. It's pretty handy for this kind of thing. So that's my pink. That's my blue. My black is here. Gray. Okay, so that's all of the colors from my... I might put in the purple as well, actually, in case I need it, because I think there's some links and icons and things with that purple. So purple, and we'll say cool. And I will probably keep some of these things because I am going to be swapping between purple, pink, and blue. Because I have a lot of variety of colors here, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is this stuff. I will get rid of the danger red, and I'll get rid of the primary red, and we can say background will be gray for now. And I don't know what the line color means, so I'm going to get rid of that for a second. Maybe I should look for it first. Oh, it's border color. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Text color medium gray. We'll say, let's look at the designs. Text is going to be the black by default, so black, black, and link color, I think it's purple, isn't it? Where's the link? Maybe we don't have links. Okay, I'm gonna set the links to purple for now. Okay, let's see how broken this is now if I go here. Okay, so our background color has changed to the gray. And let me just see if there's any big errors yet. Did I forget something? No, that's fine. Take off the responsiveness for the moment. I discovered this. Well, I rediscovered this. This is an awesome little plugin, the Waplizer. If you're new enough, you can install this extension. Well, I just see it pop up here, and it will tell you what frameworks are being used on a site most of the time. So it's very handy if you're just being nosy. I always have it open for when I visit a new site, so I can see what technology is being used. Okay. Let's take... That's there. Right. Let's start cleaning up this a little bit so it'll be ready. So we're going to have our pages. I know I will have a couple of pages, but we're going to be working on... We don't need any of this right now, so... Now I will need it later because I am going to be using... What do I have? I have a blog in here, so maybe I'll keep it for now because I will probably render the blog elements like this. And let's start working on like a kitchen sink page so I can start dumping out some of these things. Or just start building it. Yeah, I'll just start building it. It'll be faster. So what a lot of people were curious about when I started doing this is like, how was I going to... There's a lot of odd shapes here. And to create them, basically you have to take those odd shapes and make a mask out of them, which is kind of like... And I had to test this before because I hadn't done it on Figma. So what you do is you would create a shape. You'd get your odd shape, or if I was to make a new shape, I might as well just make one for the sake of it. Let's get a pen. And we'll just put the stroke up for so we can see it. And let's bend this. We can bend it like this. Have some odd shapes. And we will fill with whatever. Let's pick a color. Oh, why didn't that fill? Right, I'm just gonna grab, just so I can save coloring and things, because I'm sure that's not what people want to see. If I take this, I put this on this, I say this layer is uses mask. Oh yeah, then it starts. So now you can see. So it's done it there now when I use it as a mask. It cuts out all the excess piece, and now I can just go in Figma. I can export it as a PNG or an SVG, or I can even just click on it and go copy as SVG and just use this as a background. So I think that's what the first thing I'm going to do is grab this one, copy it as an SVG, and we're going to try and get that to work in here. So that's going to be the footer. So I'll make a new component for the footer. So let's go into components, and I'm going to do them the nice way, which is a new folder, footer. And in that footer, we'll have footer.js. If I could spell. And with, yeah, so with Next.js, it expects us to export default. So I'm just going to, for now, I'm going to just copy paste this over. Export default footer. There's going to be nothing in it really because it's just going to be static. And it'll give me one place to update this stuff. So I'm also going to delete this for now. And we will also then, what is this? Well, we have to markdown. Always forget this. This is my probably third time building a Next.js project, so that's why I do it in this way. Or do it on the streams to kind of get some more practice at it. Because I think it's an awesome framework. I think it's going to dominate really. So if we look at, it's import styles from Markdown, isn't it? Where is the blog? I bet I can find markdown.css. Import. Ah, yeah. So import styles. Yeah. So class name becomes styles. Okay. Excellent. So I just need a similar format to that. And we'll say footer. Import styles from footer. And I know it has to be a module, and you'll see why. I'll show you what it does in a second. It does a nice little conversion. So if I say footer.module.css, and then I can say .container, and then we can bring this in, say container background red, height, say 100 pixels for the moment. We do have the unfinished front end mentor challenge. Because it got blocked, I'm actually thinking of starting either trying to edit it to finish it, because it's so annoying if anyone just pumps in and they can't find the old video. But I am going to be either starting a brand new one, or I will be editing out pieces or overlaying it so it'll be done. So that's why I took a break from that one. And then I can say class name equals styles dot container. I think that's what it works. And I always, inside these components, do a thing called new file index.js, export default as And the reason I do this kind of style in my roots is so that when I start importing loads of components, I won't have to like list them off. I can just import them all as one statement. So that can be shut off there and hidden away. And then in here, I can say import footer from components. Nothing should be broken yet. Okay, something is broken already. Let's find out what that is in a second. I'm going to put this. That's going to go into the layout, isn't it? I'll put it in here just to make sure it's working for the moment anyway. Ah, it's because I already have a footer, isn't it? Probably something. Ah, yes. There's a footer already in there. So what I will do is delete the footer in here. And where's this giving me it? Oh, error set now. Hey, Abby. So we have the footer.js. So let's go container. Just a test for now. Where is my layout component? Does not contain a default export, import as footer. Footer. System here. Let me see. Am I doing something crazy wrong here? I'm just going to say in my index.js here. Oh, this is an old one, that's why. No wonder I couldn't find it. Alright, I'm just going to import it directly for the moment. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Where's the layout? No such file. Components, footer. Where is that looking for this? Layout.js. Why is that not working? Footer. Have I made a silly mistake already? We'll have a look. Let's see. Everyone's very quiet in the chat this evening. There's a few people here. Usually there's people fighting with each other by now, and that's what I like to see, is people, you know, abusing each other in a nice friendly manner. If that's a thing. So okay, Footer.js. Yes, I did. Look, I actually have, for people that didn't know, Adrian gave me some feedback here. I have the two designs here. I'm working off the new one. So that's my old design. And that's my new design that Adrian did for me. So I will be working off the new one, yes. Okay, so why is this not footer, components, footer? Okay, now I get it. In the index.js. Where have I already lost this? Am I in the wrong project? That's not like you lads. I'd expect more arguing from everyone. So let me just cancel this for a second. Yarn dev, run this. I'm probably in the index. No. Okay. Let's take a look and see what's happening. Can't resolve footer. Okay, where is this? This is index components index.js. Yeah, Adrian's an unbelievably good attention to detail for actually getting those kind of finishing touches, because I had actually talked to him a little bit and explained to him what I was trying to do. And because of me just being kind of like, I'll get business anyway, people know me locally, I was really happy to get some solid advice on how to market the site. So it's then I decided, you know, to build it, I might as well do it publicly. Since Adrian was nice enough to give me the advice, I'd like to show how something like that is put together. It's not a one video. I'm like hoping to get just a small chunk of the site done, and then yeah, we'll see. Like on the next few weeks, I'll keep on at it until we have it done. The code is all going to be public as well, so if you're wondering how I did anything, I'm going to be pushing it all up to a public repo, and it'll be building on top of it. So if you want to steal anything, yeah, don't rip off the entire site, please, 'cause that'd be annoying. But you know, if you want to steal some of the bits and pieces to do it yourself, fire ahead. I'll push it up at the end of the stream as well. So in there, now let's go into our layouts. I think we can get rid of this now. Yes, so we have our lovely footer now. Showing twice for some reason, but yeah, please, yeah, borrow stuff, don't steal it. Hours of work, and there'll be loads of copies of this beautiful website on the internet. Yeah, just put it in the footer, made by Niall or something. Nobody will even see it in the comments. Okay, so let's go into the index.js then. I think I'm okay. Layout. And if I go to footer, why am I seeing this twice? I have no idea. Did I put in footer twice somewhere? Footer. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we can go and start putting some pretty things in. So we have, this is my brand guidelines I was telling earlier, and we're going to start putting this footer in, just to see how you do something like that. So we will copy as SVG, which is nice in Figma. That you're up to do that. And then in my footer, I can just come in here and say, by Sir Niall. Yeah, exactly. No, I can put this in here. And what React doesn't like is it expects all these kind of things to be camel case. So what we need to do is change all that, like the mask type will have to be changed and everything else. So what I'm going to do is say Command Shift L, change all these. Save that. Viewbox height, mask type. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's something for sure. I don't know why the opacity's on it, but we can play around with this after anyway. Let's then say the width. I'm going to say class. We get rid of width because I'm going to make this item styles dot background. And we will say in the dot background width is going to be, oh, if I could spell it all. Oh, nice. It's not doing as I expected. So let's have a look. And what else is it complaining about in the console? It's probably something. Mask type element. Okay, maybe I can remove the mask type. You can, like if I imported this SVG as a normal image or that, it would probably work as you, without doing any of this. I just like to have it in line like this, so if I decide later on to animate some of the curves gently, that it will be there. But right now, hey, Stefan's here as well. Plenty of people. Thought a lot of people will be, you know, I suppose COVID. where is anyone going to be but their computers right now? So let's see what happens when I take out this mask. Okay, excellent. That's actually better. And do I need this? I guess I do, because it just disappeared. Yeah, nobody has anywhere to go. It's tough. Where is everyone coming in from? I think we've... Yeah, let me know your locations, because the fun part is I used to just do meetups and things, and that was the Kodu community. So since COVID, that's gone global, and it's been fun to meet all different places people are from. So yeah, let me know. What I do here is width, or could I say position? Absolute. No, I won't even do that. Width. Okay, so that's not doing that. It's just the SVG. Okay, so why is this? Is there a... I am not sure why that's doing that, but let's take off the container for the moment, or that styles of container, so I don't confuse things. We have this, and I can say background. Yeah, I'll need a container. Actually, I'll keep that container so I can have a relative positioning, and we can say yeah, Firefox is great for debugging it. It's just I'm have Chrome open now as well, so I'm probably just going to stick with my daemons for the sake of it. Position, relative, and we will say position absolute for the moment. I just want to see if I can position this the way I think, but I have a funny feeling it's just because of the view box. So if I have a funny feeling this view box is causing a lot of trouble. So if anyone is great with SVGs, now's your time to shine, and let me know what I should do with this. I think I can clear this now, can't I? Yeah, it should be fine. I'm guessing this view box is kind of giving it a max width. Let me just make SVG 100% width. Ah, yeah, there we go. So I just put a width of 100% on it. And I can put a height on it. That still does nothing. So if I touch that now, margin right, 20 pixels. Keep on touching the wrong element. Margin 0, 40 pixels. Oh no, 0, 40 pixels, 0, 0. Okay, so it's going off, I think, is it? Yeah, it's gone off. So it is. export and use image source. Yeah, I think I will in a second. Yeah, this is actually 100%. It is doing what I expected, because if I make it, like if you look at the curve here, and I get rid of that, if I say width 80% here, you'll see it's actually, there's a curve here that we're missing. So I can just say, I'm going to take this, and in the container, I like to play with these SVGs just to learn them a bit better as well. Obviously, I'm not doing a great job at the moment, but not to worry. Position up. Absolute. Left 0. It's minus 100 for a second, just to make sure this is working. Ah, okay. I'm here looking for the styles, and obviously, look, where is my style for that? It's not there anymore, so I need to class name equals. So I've been just doing styles on it with no class, so that's why it wasn't working. So yeah. No, I was also just being silly. Oh, well, no, apparently not. Minus 100. Left 0. Bottom 0. Yeah, I'll import it as an image, I think, because that's frustrating. But not to let that deter, what I will do is... Yeah, I thought it was the view box, but it's actually, it is there for some reason. SVG background footer. For some reason, this is coming off. So is it... Yeah, the SVG itself. Yeah, so the SVG is bigger for some reason. You see, if you remove the view box is what scales it. So that's what tells it its height and width in dimensions, and it scales out based on that. So if I remove that, it will probably go crazy. No, it did okay. So I can say, usually that's, yeah, the scaling would go, I thought the scaling would go off with it. So let's leave that, the view box. Yeah, the path isn't on the left of the SVG. Yeah. Anyway, what I'll do is I can say right minus 50 pixels. Can I? Yeah, you see, this is that. Yeah, it's behaving a little bit weird here, so this is the fun part of using weird SVGs and expecting things to work as you hope. Right, what I'm going to do is make sure, here's what could be wrong. Is this exporting as I expected? So export group 94, or preview it. Yeah, that's exactly as I wanted. So export as an SVG. Where is my Finder? I have a 49-inch monitor, so it kind of is all over the place. So I'm going to just grab this. I have a funny feeling that SVG is just broken. And I'm going to import it and use it as a source because I think for the sake of this, it's just not worth messing with that for too much. And then where are my sample images here? Yeah, just scraping out random lines of code. It was getting desperate, so it's not usually a good sign. Where are my, oh yeah, here's my public. So assets, let's create new file. New folder called images. Images. Let's take this in. I think it's doing the same thing, but it'll just work a little bit. Footer SVG. And yeah. Let's see what we're going to do. We're looking then. I'll come back to that another time because I do want that in an SVG, but it's also just slowing down the entire show here just to, for the sake of it. So let's just import. How do they import? I know that has a weird way. So if I go to my posts, how are they importing things? Dun, dun, dun. Posts. Where are the posts? There. Okay, so I can go images. Yeah, great. Let's get rid of this. Bye-bye. And we'll go into the module and we can say background image, and that takes a URL, which is going to be, I think it's in a string. I haven't used a background image URL in a while. So we can say, what's in public? This just helps me. Images, footer. And no repeat, I think I can put in here. Okay, how do I stretch it out? Background image. Background image. Stretch to fill. I love the way this is what I go to first. Nice. That's pretty handy. Then I can just go. Oh yeah, take out the no repeat. There is a shorthand for that. Okay. And I am guessing, this might be the cause of all this, is the layout might have a max width on it. So background size cover. Aha, way better. All right, so that's going to be way easier to do things now. And then what I want is, I'm going to have a container for like a max width on these things, so I might as well make that kind of container. Container.js, and then we'll say new file container.module.css. Thanks, Stefan, for that. That really will help me just stop playing with that for a while. So we have our little curved background now, and we can say import styles from container.modules styles, and then export default function container, which is going to take children, and then we'll return div with those children. And the only reason I do this is because I'm going to control and snap the max widths at certain points for things, and I can just make sure when I'm containing things inside elements, I can just always have the things I expect. Class names, class or styles dot container. I'll say max width 1280 pixels for the moment, and I'll just say margin 0 auto to center it for the moment. So let's export that in the index.js as well. Container, excellent. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put in the footer, we're going to pull in import container, or import container from that was meant to be a container, and I forgot already. Okay, so it's in exactly where I expected. So the problem is now we need to know how much this height is. So let's put a padding of top, say 200 pixels for the moment, or what is, yeah, so I'm going to actually position it off the bottom. So if I say margin auto to the top, so I can shift it down to where it's supposed to be, and then add the proper thing, I can probably look in here and see how far down this is. How much is that? That's 140. That's about 140 again. Oh, don't stop that. Yeah, we'll say margin is going to be auto 0 100 pixels. Huh. Didn't do what I expected, but we'll play around with this. Let me grab this element. It's padding, isn't it? That I need to add, or else it will go off. Yeah, it's just adding that there. I'm an idiot. Never mind. So it's padding. It's not that at all. And you can't do that there. So yeah, I just need to take it down from the top. So I can, if I said padding 100 pixels, 200 pixels, 200 pixels. Is that right enough? If I look back on my other elements, probably a bit more. So I can say 220. So we'll say padding top 240 pixels. Let's have a look. Okay, that looks close enough. So let's grab let's start making a few elements here. So we're going to need we're going to have a div which is going to be my grid, and say class name equals styles.grid, and what I am going to do is there's going to, let me just see this. So this is kind of on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this by itself, and then I will create the 3 columns for this. So it's about 2 rows for this. Yeah, I mean, like, you see, if you've looked at me on Twitter or anything else, I use gradients for everything. I'm going to struggle even with doing all these things. But, like, I also didn't want to, I could have been smart and tried to, like, prepare for this stream in any way. But I thought I'd rather say, like, this is actually my first time playing with the files and trying to build this out. So I didn't even know if the SVGs were going to be in the right format. So now that I've discovered they're not, I'll probably play around afterwards to find out what I need to change to make them correct. But it's fine. It'll look cool. That's all that matters at the end of the day. We'll call this div is going to be style equals styles.logo. And then I'm going to put test. I am using Next because I like the optimisations that just came in with the images and things like yesterday or the day before at NextConf, and I wanted to try them out. And then the other reason is I'm going to use the blog, and I'm starting with the blog template here. So I'm going to steal their logic from this. And yeah, it's a fun framework to play with, and I'm not building any client projects with Next right now, so I might as well on my own site play around with it. It's a good time to break things and learn things is on my own site, because I wouldn't like to waste customers' money on gambling with new technologies. It's never a smart idea. But yeah, that's mostly why. You could look into making white SVGs that go over the simple CSS. Yeah, I was thinking of that on this. And then, see, this is gray. So I could do a gray one, and then I'll be matching the background with this. And this one could be white. And I'm thinking of doing the same for the one up here. I might do a white. But again, I probably can't either, because this is too... Wait until we get to this. Like, we're going to get to this probably next week. But there is an element here, an element here, and an element here. And there's actually a dark gradient to make the logo pop here. There's so many gradients. Oh, I'm in for trouble with this one. I'll definitely practice with my weird SVG things. I might even ask Jay for what he thinks or how I should be tackling this, because he would definitely have a lot more expertise on that than me. Yeah, well, again, it's a good time to test this out. Let's... Oh, copy as SVG. How could this go wrong? Let's take that. Pat. Okay, that looks not too bad. Okay, that looks like a regular look enough. Yeah, the header's going to be a nightmare. So I'll play around. Like I said, like this is the fun. I'm experimenting with this. I gave myself a difficult design because I've never built stuff with loads of curves and things, and I really like that style. So I've actually picked a load of styles I haven't built in things. I'm usually building software rather than websites, and a lot of software is functionality. So this is definitely a lot more pretty than software applications in a sense. So we'll see how that goes. Kodu. Okay, so we have that there. So I'm gonna just put that. I probably don't even need styles.logo. That can just sit there for now. And now for the styles.grid. Be no fun if I wasn't learning on these things, and I like to learn these things in public as well, because I think a lot of people are embarrassed or, you know, might think that people who are doing these kind of things know way more than them or aren't Googling things. But as you can see, I'm just basic CSS properties. I'm looking them up as well because they're not things I use every day. It's all about after you use certain things a few times, you'll remember them, and then other times you just won't. Yeah, we can export the whole header as an SVG. I think I will. I might even... Yeah, I think I'll have to export the whole thing as an SVG because it's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to have to make a mask and everything. I think a lot of next week's stream will just be me fighting with that SVG on Figma, to be honest. So don't worry. You'll see what happens with that. It's definitely going to be bad. It's not... I'm not looking forward to that piece, but it is going to look cool. And especially, I'm thinking of a finishing touch would be when I touch this, I want them to kind of move 3D or follow the mouse a little bit. So I'm going to add some perspective to them to add insult to injury. So I want it to look like when you hover this that they detach and they're going to float independently of each other. So yeah, I'm going to go a bit crazy on these things and see what happens. Styles a grid and grid template columns, and that is... You're always good at this, Praveen. What sizing are we looking at? 1F4, 1F4, 1F4. Okay, that kind of looks okay, surprisingly. Margin, top, we'll say 20 pixels just for the sake of it. And right now, what I need to do actually, and I'm going to start setting this up now. So the thing that we did now, this text needs to be white. So what are we going to say? We'll call these H4s, I think. 3F4. Oh, okay. So that's how to repeat. I still am just being too old school by doing this. I can say repeat 2F. That's nice. Believe it or not, I'm still used to using like float left and all these other things. 2F3. Okay, I've definitely... Oh, 2F or 3. Is that? Repeat. Ah, yeah, 3. Now I get you. You're saying 2, 2, 2 in layman's terms, I guess. And I'm going to just put in here H4. Probably could be H5. Things going enough. Oh, we'll just do H4. No, it's probably better if I do H5 because these are so tiny. Repeat. Ah, okay. So I haven't really used the repeat functions in the grids at all. I still end up Googling it every time. I need to actually play around with those properties a lot more. So we'll say that's H5 test, and then we will have li or ul, sorry, ul, and then inside there we're gonna have our li's. Test. And what did I break? I didn't close the div. Okay. So in our styles, let's get the font sizes right now. So I did something I didn't do at the start. You haven't wrote it a single time. You're just good at studying. That's interesting. Right, if I can get this footer done today, though, it'll be a good start because I'll have everything in place to ramp on through it the next. So let's go into my root. The one thing I'm going to do is I have to remember all these. Where is my... Save this for a second. I'm going to just remember what my styles, where are my styles? Main.css, white, text color. Okay, so we have a variable called text color, and the text color is going to become white inside the footer module. No, that's not what I want. We don't need that. If you change 3F4 to 4F4, then the sum will that makes sense. Yeah, actually that's good sense, or good point. That'll make more sense in a bit. So text F4, well, it's actually going to be H color as well. So I'm going to have text and H. Let's grab this as well. No, that's not what I was doing. It was, let's get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Do need this. Okay, have I not wired up things here? Oh, it's because it's UL, LI. So let's see how I can get this working now. So if I go into my main.css, yeah, I'll change that. Remind me in a second, Praveen, to actually change that when I go back into it. But right now I am going to say HTML font size, base font size. Oh, this hasn't got loads of stuff. Let me... Well, I am going to steal... where is my other project? I am going to just off screen for a second look for cd ls. CDs. CD spec. Dun, dun. What is the VS Code team? I'll bring up the theme I'm using now in a second. This code. Okay. I found a file I was looking for earlier. Remember, I was looking for my resets and things. So this is a site I built. This is the last site I built in Next.js, and it's this one. So why I'm looking for this is because I know I set up a lot of the boilerplate nicely here. Oh, it's synthwave, yeah. So that's why I want to steal from in here all my main.css, no, index.css. Yeah, let's steal basically everything, because it's nice and formatted as well. This is what I thought I was stealing earlier. I obviously had a duplicate. Danger. Button cancel. We're gonna get rid of these. Nice. Okay, so we do have, yeah, and for the theme, it's synthwave. And in fact, you can make it more neon. You can actually make it this neon as well, but an error pops up when you do that. So I tend to not do it so much anymore. But yeah. So right now we are there. So that's, do I have H5 in there then? Find H5. H5 is going to be my normal text size. Bum, bum. Body font. Base font size, H1, H5. Oh, great. I'm actually going to change this H5 to the base font size because I know they're the same size really, and I'll uppercase it in a minute as well. But yeah, it should be the same size as this from the looks of things. Yeah, it's not much different really. And what size is that? 14. We'll play around with it. I don't have to be exact. That's the nice part about working on my own designs as well. I don't have to be precise. Now, so now that I have all that in, we can get the headers in and main.css. So where is my UL and LIs? I must not have one in here. Do I have one? UL. No, I don't have that set up. So this is kind of just what I set up before things usually. I just didn't want to bore everyone by doing it today, but I'll do it as I needed it. So I'm just going to put in li font size is going to be var base font size, and color is going to be, where's the font color? Text color. Color text color. I want that added really too. I don't think I need to change that actually. I should be able to just say text color. Shouldn't I? Let me just try that. And if I go here, and if I jump into my contain footer.module, I can say text color. I'll just copy this. I thought that would change it, but obviously not. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to add some text color to the ULs and LIs. So if I go back into my main, perfect, that's a little bit better. And then we will, hold on, let's see. Nice. Then what we're going to do is for the H5s, especially. So I'm gonna, just in case, do I need all my headers to be uppercase? Let me just check. I don't think there's anywhere else I'm using a H5. So I am going to be, I'm going to just put it straight into my main.css. I will say the H5 text transform uppercase. And we have things. And now we can go into our footer. Footer, boom, boom, boom. If you have any questions about what I'm doing in the chat or that, feel free to ask away and I'll do my best to answer them as well. And now we have this. So what is the name of this? Let's start actually using some. No, let's get rid of my old site. My old site is going to be dead soon. Hopefully in a couple of weeks my site will be dead. And close them. So that's about us. About us. Oh, it's actually going to be a P, I think, in here. But I think I might just copy about. Because the other ones are going to be LIs, I think. Why is there no beer today? I have beers. Don't worry, I'm doing less beers. I have plans after the stream, so I can't go crazy. I won't be going far, sadly. But I can't go too crazy this evening. But yeah, I do. I have my Dead Pony Club here. So it's keeping me quenched. You know me, I couldn't do it without a few beers. So, and this reminds me then, you said to go 4 to make it even. I think you're dead right, that looks a bit better now. So I'm going to then in here put in a P and we'll say, what is there in my text actually here? I should know this since I built it. But let's, can I steal this text? Let's just steal this for the moment. And oh, okay, I just picked a random one by accident. That should be up here. And we can then put that back. So that's not too bad now in the sense of where we're at for this. So what do we have to do? What other things do we have to put in there? I'm not even going to bother putting the links in right now. The font weight looks lighter, so I might actually change the fonts and things now as well to make it look like this. We'll say contact, hello at Kodu. So if anyone wants to get in touch with me, this is how you do it. So contact, address, and privacy policy. I will have a privacy policy. So contact. Let's say hello at kodu.ie. And because I never remember my own number, and then for this, if you see, yeah, that's smart, Praveen, by the way. I was just being lazy, really, by not doing it that way. And then privacy policy. Oh, actually, that's going to just be, I'll say, other links. And this is going to be my privacy policy. And let's have a look where we're at now. That looks a bit better. What I need to do now is I need to, where we're at, so the fonts are wrong. So I want to change the font. So the font weight for text is actually light, but also the fonts are open sans. So download family. No, I don't actually want to download that. Stop. What we do want to do is, yeah, let's just select all these. What I'll do is, I'm gonna write this down because I'll forget. I'll put it in the code. I hope somebody else will be on this to remind me before I do this. But I'm just gonna select, even though it's gonna be slow, I'm gonna select all these fonts for the moment. So that's my, if I look back at my brand guide, I have Montserrat and Open Sans. Actually, it's telling me which ones I need, but meh. Yeah, Abby, fire ahead with random questions. Random questions are always what we want here. Oh, Jesus, what have I done? Oh. Something's gone wrong here. Okay, I need to refresh this, obviously, because something has gone crazy. Yes, actually, the address tag would be more semantic. So if I put in this as the address, that's, why is my, okay, so I had just put my notepad on top of my keyboard that I have to the side, and that's why my everything was having a fit. Okay, so all right, let's undo that. Jeez, that was going to be worse than trying to debug anything else. Figuring out that I just landed something on my keyboard. Yeah, address, and I think actually that should be okay there. There's another one. I will go on and make this more semantic as a final piece. I'm just kind of doing styling now, but now that you pointed that one out, I'll throw it in straight away. But yeah, where was I? Yeah. How do I divide a canvas into a grid system? What do you mean? You want to draw the canvas in a grid system? Like, you can still use percentages on things, I guess. Yeah, tell me more about that canvas problem and I can try to think of it. I don't use the canvas all that often, but we can do a little Google if we have to. Okay, so we now have 444 footer, blah blah blah. What were we doing? We're doing fonts, weren't we? Before my keyboard had a fit. Regular 400, regular 400. We won't be using that. Won't be using that. Like in a snake game. Oh, okay. I actually have done that a long time ago. So I might actually put a link into the comments. I'll have a look for that in a minute and I'll send it over to you because I have done that years ago now, I think, at this stage. But I will definitely find it. Okay. Can I? And then what's it? One. It's thin. Light. Let me just finish this, Abby, and I will put that into the chat. I just want to make sure I don't forget or go off on another tangent. And in my, where was it? The meta, wasn't it? There was a meta. Or says feed XML. Is there any things being fonts already? No. Link. Where is my CSS getting import? Probably not. Anyway. Let's throw that in there. Play font. Is play font in here? Let me just get this as well. Let me get these two. And I can play with those kind of things then in a second. I get distracted too easily, so I'll go off and it'll be a new project instantly. Font families. Body font. So let's take the heading font. I think this is it. And the body font. I don't make anything off YouTube, by the way. I literally make zero monies off YouTube. I do this purely for fun. I run a business, hence why literally what I'm doing now is building my business site again. I'm rebuilding my business site. This is how I make my income. I develop applications for companies. So let me have a look. Let's have a look at this play font. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice, very slick one. I don't know what that makes me think of, like an airline or something. I don't know why that's what comes to my head. Okay, I think I'm done with those fonts then. And if I save that, where is it at? That looks way better. That looks so much closer to what we are looking for when we go back here. I'm not going to worry about these icons for now. But yeah, so I just stream to hopefully teach some people what as I do and what I do as well, because I've been working with React on things for 5-6 years now. So obviously I like to just help people learn as well, because I know when I started out, I had nobody to ask questions to. So it's just my way of giving back to the community as well, is by YouTubing and teaching people. So it's an important thing, I think. CodePen. Let's look at some of my old things. And let's go to my profile. And you'll see this because I never use my CodePen really anymore. So this is something I think I built in Treehouse like about 5 or 6 years ago when I was trying to get into JavaScript commercially. But yeah, Snake Game. This is what you were looking for, Abby, isn't it? See? Boom. Snake. So yeah, I'm going to paste this in here for you so you can play with that. So that might help you. Right, let's maybe get this piece then. Or like, yeah, it'd be nice to actually get the buttons styled properly. So let's put in a button called Get Started. So we're going to create... I'm going to actually create a new folder called Sections. And that's just because if I want to quickly kind of modify entire sections, because these all could be pages in their own rights, I would like, oh, look at this, there's more SVGs off to the side and things. Yes, this is going to be so much fun to do all these. I did work with a designer to get this done. We have obviously a designer in my company and things. So, yeah, it's very helpful. Obviously to have a designer in-house that can guide me in such a way, and then having the likes of Adrian come along and show me how I could improve it again. So it's good fun. Let's get some buttons done. Let's get this section done. I'll probably just throw it... Yeah, let's make a CTA section, I think. So let's... No, I don't want it in there. Dun, 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 dun. Sections. New file index.js. New folder will call to action. And new file call to action.js. Yeah, and if anyone has any cool sites or things that they're building, a few of your portfolios and things, send them on. I will, if you tweet me or DM me on them, I will review them on YouTube. We can do a stream like this, and I can review your portfolios and business sites or whatever else, and we can go over it and say how we could improve them. What would I change? What would I add? Call to action.module.css, and we'll import styles from export default, call function, call to action, and we will return a div with a P in it because there's some lorem ipsum there, and then there is a button, and class name is going to be, as always when I start these things, style.container. And in here, what is it? Okay, well, that's actually a header, so we'll call that a h4. It's not an important header. And what's in there, get started. Cool. And now we need to export that. So I'll say export default as call to action from call to action. This might seem a bit pointless, but trust me, when you start to line up loads of these and then you have to import each of them from the folder and everything, this is just a little bit of code hygiene that I like to do, is just putting these indexes in here. Okay, and then let's bring this call to action into our index. Where's my pages? Here we are. Next.js, and we're going to import call to action from sections. Yeah, so with machine learning algorithms, I'm not good with machine learning, but what we do have is TensorFlow.js. So you can apply that in Node, or you could even write something like on the client side, because I have a funny feeling that you'll see a lot of machine learning coming to the client soon, because GDPR, we can't actually, or like data protection, we can't actually take a lot of the data we want to use to analyze and do smart things with. So a bypass would be to never take the data to do something with it. So if you are smart, you could write a machine learning algorithm in the client that might do something or market something to them without actually ever taking their data, which could be an interesting thing to chase. I think that will make somebody rich if you can come up with one of the first kind of useful client-side scripts to build or to do something smart with. And then, right, I have my call to action. Firebase does ML. I use AWS for a lot of my things, so it's probably wasted on me. Call to action. And okay, excellent. Right, so now we have our call to action section. My footer, I am going to put, that's fine actually. I think I can leave that at that. Let's bring, that's H4. Let's get, what size is that? We can build that into a something a bit bigger. So call to action. I want to break this. Oh, okay. So you see this happening here. So what I want to do on why that's happening is I do a little thing. I love to do this on sites. I just think it looks a little bit fancier when people copy paste. Selection light primary. When I will say pink. So now, and the color will be white. Oh. So now when I hover, I get that nice little effect where it looks like, this is a small little trick that I do, but I think it looks like you've thought about a lot of the extras that you're, the bits you didn't need to do when you get started. So let me just, I have to send a quick. What about Parsley library? I've never used Parsley. What is Parsley? So one of my best friends is a data scientist and he does a bit of machine learning and things. So I have an idea of some of the maths that goes into it, and it wouldn't suit me. I'm self-taught developer, so I definitely don't have the academic background for doing some smart machine learning stuff. Outline color. I'm also going to use pink here. So if I tab through things, oh yeah, my links. Right, let's have a look then. The button, let's style this call to action. Container. Text align. Center. Beautiful. Now let the games begin. More fun. Okay, what size is this and what line height is that? So I am going to change h4 to be var h2. I don't even know if I have that as the right thing. Oh, yes. But the font weight is probably a bit heavy. But let's get some h4 margin. I don't even know if I can do this in Next. Yeah. Must one local class or ID. Okay, so it needs a. Yeah, okay, yeah, again. So I can just say dot container. Boom, boom, boom. Where is that gone? Where did I put that? Oh, I really need to close all them sections. Where are the sections gone? Sections. Ah, here. Oh, no wonder I'm on the wrong project. Let me close this one. I was like, I don't recognize any of this stuff. Call to action CSS. So I can just say okay, excellent. And I'm also going to add margin bottom of 100 pixels here just for the moment, just to pull this up a bit. And let's start styling that button. Button. And right, the button is a peculiar style, isn't it? It uses my pink. I think it over here. So pink, blue, but it's about 30% pink. So let's see how that works. So I can say background. What is background is going to be linear gradient, I think, and I have to turn it. It'll go top to bottom, so 0.25 turn, and let's. Do I have to put a comma? I should really bring up the docs for this, but we'll just var pink 30%, isn't it? About, I'm gonna guess. And then we'll say var. I don't even know if I can use. I haven't used vars in this stuff. So I'll say blue. That is not bad. That's pretty damn close. Okay, nice. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy with that one, as you can tell. So we'll say button color text color is white. Excellent. Font size. Okay, let's. What height is this? This is what radius is on that? 60 with a height of 45. Border radius 60 pixels. Height 50 pixels. Let's just start playing around with this to get this right. That's not so bad. And then what I will do is add a padding of 45. Maybe that's too much. So let's say 30. That looks pretty good. And yeah, that's not too bad, really. So we've got a good start on this. That is pretty okay. And I obviously stole some styles here, but you can see there's a slight little transition. It might be hard to see here. Let me I can't even do that. Well, that's close. So if you look up real close here, you'll see a little hover effect. Yeah, that's not too bad. In next section to hard code, similar button. So let me just show you what I was thinking. So I'm adding this stuff. I'll probably put like a min width or that. So this is all stuff I want to keep as my default button. And then what I'll do is, because I have a secondary button, which is all the way up here, and I'll create a secondary button for this. So all my buttons, I do want to have the same styles or follow the same styles. So maybe a better idea would be saying min width rather than 145 pixels. But yeah, it's perfectly fine to do something like this, because it's kind of like what I do in this style sheet is like my style guide. So this is like the way I don't want to, anytime I think of a button, I don't want to have to go and restyle it. It's scoped here to my main. So it's going to get it from just the button element. And then for the button.secondary style, I'll just outline it. Or just hard code it once into the navigation, because it's the only place that's using it. But yeah, good eye for that. So next week, we'll probably try and get this section set up, and maybe this will be easy. Yeah, maybe we'll leave this because this is actually going to have some logic in it. So I think maybe next week what we're going to try and do is to create this and this. Yeah, we are building some stuff with Next because I'm building my business site. So it's nice. I can play with whatever I like. So, oh yeah, we have a couple of secondary buttons. So I'm going to probably create a secondary button style and work with it from there. Do I care about this being up there? Nice. Okay, so I have my styles, all my base styles are in. And I now have something like this. What I am concerned about, and I might do something and think about it and draw up the designs. Can you share our Discord link? Oh, absolutely. Let's get Discord up in here. Actually, I'll probably, in case there's any private chats up, I won't, because some people message me, and in case they're asking any questions that they don't want to be seen, I would rather not share it. So let me grab invite people and edit invite link. Ever, no limit. Copy this. So, oh, and I'm here typing doc container into this. So copy, it's copied. If you want to join in on our Discord, that is our Discord link in the chat. So we're usually just chatting, asking each other questions and things and that. If anyone has any ideas for things I should do, what I'm thinking I will put, because I have a 49-inch monitor and I know right well when I stretch things out, especially when I get to this part of the design, here, it'll look really weird. So I'm probably going to make it so there's a max width on it, and then I'll just have it look like it's in front of a background so that it doesn't just spread out and break the whole flow of the page. But yeah, I think we did okay. We got the base things down. I lost a lot of time on just messing with this damn footer. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. And we'll be back next week to mess around with this some more and try and get the blogs all wired up. So then we'll be playing around with the next and routing on the pages and getting some articles and images in here. So that should be fun as well. And I'm also going to then use Cloudinary to make sure I'm generating the right sized images so it's optimized. Or actually, no, I forgot. We have the brand new image tag in Next. So I'll probably be using that. Yeah, let's see what the new Next tag does. Or the new image tag in Next does, because I'm sure that'll be pretty good. And I also then have to update some of the fonts and things here based on the changes that Adrian made in his video. I wonder, can I find his video here as well? Based on the changes he made. Where did he send me this? Didn't he? I'll put it in the description after this because I'll find it. Yeah. Let's find a... Yeah, we'll play around with all the images and things next week. And I'll hopefully have my actual logos. I didn't work for Facebook, Google, or Amazon, or LinkedIn ever. So ignore them. I did work for some decent sized companies, but not those ones. Yeah. I think we'll call it a night there. And we'll see you next week. And I'll probably have another video out during the week as well. So if you haven't already subscribed and liked this video and things, please do it, because it helps the YouTube algorithm and gets more people to see my stuff. But yeah, thanks a million for the... Oh, you tried it? Yeah, look, I'm jealous. People have already tried the image tag. All right, I'm going to quit it here. I'm going to go get some dinner finally, because it's 8 o'clock here. And yeah, I'll see you next week on this live. So make sure you come back.